Hello everyone and welcome back to Beaming for Books. My name is Emily and today we're going to do our first video in a 12-part series of opening up a blind date with a book. So I am going to pick one of my blind dates with a book. I have 4 already here, 3 of which do not have, what am I trying to say? Like descriptions on them, and 2 of which do have descriptions on them. So the 3 that I don't have, I absolutely did not own these. They were sent to me from my friend over on Instagram, and so I have no idea what they are, but do not know what genre or anything like that they are. And I also have 2 that I purchased, I believe on Beamingforbooks a while ago, that do say what they are. So we have a YA high fantasy and a YA urban fantasy. So I think we're going to start with one of these today just to see what we're getting into. And if I happen to open one of these and I already own the book or I've already read it, then we will start with a new one. So without further ado, because I can't wait and because I'm so excited, let's just open up our book. I'm gonna go with this one, I think, the YA high fantasy. Oh, I just got makeup on it. Just because it's a little shorter than the other fantasy book, and I don't know, I just feel like YA is a good way to jump into this. So let's just do it. Okay, I think this packaging is so cute. First of all, I'll see if I can find who I bought this from on Beamingforbooks, because I believe she had a bunch of other blind date with a book. And it even has this cute stampy thing. Okay, I'm gonna open it. Let me make sure that it's towards you. And if you don't know what a blind date with a book is, it's where you purchase a book or you have someone wrap one of your own books and then you don't know what you're going to be reading. So it's fun and it's interesting and it's a good way to I don't know, read outside of your normal genre. Okay, I've opened it. I'm not looking. Let me get the last piece of paper off of it. Okay, The Queen Rising, right, by Rebecca Ross. Oh my gosh, is this the same author of Divine Rivals? I believe it is. Okay, so I have not read this, haven't even heard of it, but it says when her 17th summer solstice arrives, Brianna desires only 2 things: to master her passion and to be chosen by a patron. While her fellow Arden sisters at the renowned Magnalia House and Valenia seem to be naturally gifted at one of the 5 passions: art, music, dramatics, wit, or knowledge, Brianna struggles to find hers until she chose knowledge. However, despite years of preparation, Brianna is left without a patron. So I'm guessing that's someone to either sponsor her or a husband material. Months later, her life takes an unexpected turn when a disgraced lord offers her patronage. Once Brianna accepts, she quickly becomes entangled in a dangerous plot to overthrow the ruthless king of Mavana. There's a lot of different names going on in here. The rival kingdom of Valenia, and restore the rightful queen and her magic to the throne. With war brewing, Brianna must choose between passion and blood because a queen is destined to rise and lead the battle to reclaim the crown. Who will be that queen? Okay, sounds interesting. We have a bunch of different names going on. We have Brianna, Magnalia House, Valenia, Mavana, a lot of different things, but I'm excited to get into this. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump into it now, honestly, because why not? We'll just get this up and popping and up and rolling. And I think we're gonna do a little bit, oh, it has, ooh, okay, wait a sec. First we have a map, very detailed map here. Then we have a cast of characters. We also have the 14 houses of Mavana listed here. The Alanak family tree. Oh my gosh, the McQuinn family, the Morgaine family, the Kavanaugh family, and the Kavanaugh family continued. All right, we got a lot of info here in the first couple pages. So I'm going to read probably the first couple chapters and then let you know what I think in this so far. And we're just going to jump on in. I'm so excited for my first blind date book. I've been walking on the pad for a little bit, and I wanted to give you my first update in the book. So I'm on page 90. I believe this is chapter 6, and we're following our main character, Brianna, like I said. And when she was younger, well, actually her whole life, she's been asking her grandfather, like, who is my dad? Because she doesn't know who her dad is, and she doesn't know his name. She knows nothing about him. She knows about her mom, but her mom has passed away, so she never really knew her. So anything she learns about her family is through her grandfather, and he really wants to withhold this information about her father. And she really doesn't know why, like why he's so hesitant to tell her who her dad is. And she's just like, bro, tell me, who's my dad? So long story short, she ends up going with her grandfather to the house of Magnalia, where he wants her to like enroll as a student. And that's where that whole thing about the passions comes in. She has 7 years to learn a passion, and then after like the 7th year, it's like a ceremony, and these patrons come and they like choose someone, I guess. And I don't exactly know what happened, but I think she was like held back from her like first ceremony, or one of the ceremonies. Like she didn't learn enough, or she didn't have a passion, or something like that. So she's doing it again, and in the part that I'm at now, she is only a few days away from that ceremony, and she's very, very nervous that she's not going to have a passion, or she's not going to like pass whatever she needs to pass in order to go on with like a patron, I guess. And she's working with her master, okay? And her master's name is Cartier, and I think they might have like a little romance that might develop, but he seems to really favor her over his other 2 or 3 students, which she is kind of unaware of. But her like fellow sisters, like students, are like, oh yeah, he favors you. So one day he gives her this book called the Book of Hours, and when she begins reading it, she like is transported back in time into the body of this man, like years and years ago in the land of Mavana. She has no idea how that happened, why that happened. So in the part that I'm at, she's like asking, like trying to inconspicuously ask Cartier, like, why did you give me this book? Like, have you read it yourself? Like trying to see if he knows what's going on with that. Interesting so far. I'm like flying through it for only reading for like 30 minutes. I was able to get a good amount of reading done. So I'm going to take a little break now and do a little bit of cleaning of the book room, because it is a disaster. It is a disaster. I have not cleaned it up in such a good amount of time. I really don't know why. I have just been like leaving the books that I've purchased or gathered recently like on the floor for no real reason. They're just like sitting on the floor. The books that I'm unhauling are just sitting on the floor. A lot of things are just sitting on the floor that could be put in different places. So I need to do that and take a little break for my eyeballs. So I think I'm gonna probably do like 15 minutes of cleaning, and during that time I'm gonna listen to my audiobook, which is The Knockoff by Lucy Sykes and Joe Piazza. I'm not really enjoying this too much, but I am like halfway through, like 40% of the way through, so I'm going to listen to this just to kind of break up the reading process and have something to listen to while I'm cleaning. So I'm gonna b-roll you so you can see what I'm dealing with and what I'm putting away, but it is a mess. Let me just show you. Okay, don't mind the powder on the floor. I know it looks suspicious. It's just the carpet powder that I always use in order to deodorize the carpet from the pets. But this is the state of like this area of the book room, okay? We have the wrapping from The Blind Date, some shoes, some other books over there. Also, my desk is a mess. There's just stuff everywhere. My birthday balloons for my birthday like 3 weeks ago. I just need to put some stuff away. This area, also a mess. So we just need to put stuff away. So we need to do that, okay? I cannot wait any longer to put these things where they need to go. It'll just feel so much better once it's cleaned up. So in the audiobook goes, and onto the B-roll. Lighting is going to be a little strange for this update, but It is the next day. I forgot to update after I started cleaning yesterday, which dragged into today because I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done. There's still some books that I need to find like places for. So we're going to wait on that. I mean, technically I could do it, but like, do I want to right now? Not really. But what I want to do is update you on The Queen's Rising. So I read the first couple chapters. I think I'm on chapter 9 now, page 118. And I'm liking it. It is giving a young adult fantasy vibes where we have like a girl who was kind of orphaned, like doesn't really know her parents, and she may have like some kind of connection to like these ancestors who like ruled over kingdoms. It's giving that, okay? And I'm enjoying it so far. I don't have much to say about the book in general, but the first couple chapters in, not so bad. Like I updated you last, she kind of may have a like romance connection with the guy who was like training her, but we haven't really got there yet. She's at her passioning ceremony now where like she finds out if she made it and like gets a patron, and I haven't figured that out yet, but we'll see. I'm guessing she's not going to get a patron, and I think she's gonna like want to be with the guy who taught her, which is interesting because I'm like, how old is this man? How old is this man? I don't know, but I have like 30 minutes before I need to leave for work, so I think I'm gonna do a little more reading of this, start my what's it called, weekly vlog, and just kind of go about the day today. I think I'm going to take this to work with me today, so on my lunch break I can read. I want to get at least like 50% in before I update you next. And yeah, I am enjoying it. I do like a young adult fantasy, so this is kind of right up my alley. And we'll just see where it goes from here. Update you because I am now 50% through The Queen's Rising. I don't really... Okay, first things first, let me talk about... I was totally wrong about the whole idea of the patron situation. I thought... Okay, and granted, this is how they made it sound, that the patron that they're seeking after they passion, which means, you know, they have, I guess, like graduated from their skill set, you know, they're supposed to get a patron. And the way they made it sound was that the patron was going to be like their love interest, I guess. That's at least how I took it, because we have our main character, I can't remember her name. What is her freaking name? I don't even know. Brianna. And she's in like the school, I guess, for knowledge, along with another girl, Siri, and usually there's only one girl per like of the 5 sections, I guess. And what really made me think that it was like the patron was the love interest that they're supposed to be getting is that Siri's like talking about competing with Brianna. She doesn't want to have to compete with her for a patron, so I was like, okay, like they don't want to like fight over a love interest, right? No. I'm halfway through and Brianna just got a patron. And that person like adopts her, which is so weird because she's like 17. She's 17. And whoever the patron is like adopts them as their child. So that's strange to me because, like I said, Brianna just got her patron, and the reason she got this patron is because they're going to try and find this stone together to be able to bring back like the queens. The queens were the only ones who had power if they had this stone, and the stone was missing. Now they want to find the stone so that the queens can be back in like their rightful leadership role. Anyway, when he becomes her patron, he's like, "You will call me father. I'm your dad," or like, "I'm your father now." Like, it's very strange. So that part is a little icking me out. And then like the patron, he has a son, and so she's like, oh, I have a brother. I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little strange, but I guess I'm understanding the plot because, like I said, you know, our main character never knew her dad, and we find out that her dad was like, I don't know. It's a little bit confusing because there's so many different like names of kingdoms and people who live in these kingdoms who are like royalty and stuff like that. But like I said, what I think I'm gathering is that they have to get this stone because in Mavana, once upon a time, there were, like I said, queens, and the queens had these powers. Only women were the only one with powers, so obviously they had a queen. No other kingdoms have queens, but they no longer have a queen because the stone that helps them with their magic is like gone. It's missing. So the reason she's like paired up with this patron is because he also wants to find the stone, and she's able to have like visions that like take her back in time, where she sees like the process of them taking this stone and where they took it. So she's going to team up with the patron, who is now her father, and try and find the stone together in order to like rightfully give the throne back to the queens. Okay, so like I said, I'm like 50% of the way through. It's fine. It's nothing, like I always say, it's nothing that I'm going to write home about, okay? And it's a series I know like right now, being 50% of the way through this book, that I'm not going to continue the series. It's just giving me a little bit of a confusion. It's giving me a little bit of a confusion with, like I said, all the different people and like bloodlines and ancestry, genealogy we're supposed to remember. So just here we have the Kavanaugh family. Okay, that's one of them. Then we have the Morgaine family, the McQuinn family. Who else? The Allenack family. And then we have the 14 houses of Mavana. That's a lot. How am I supposed to remember all that? And then this is the cast of characters. Immediately when there's a cast of characters in a book, I'm like, doy? Like, I feel like it kind of makes me a little bit put off of the book because I know there's going to be a lot going on as far as characters, and I need to remember who and this person and this person. And being in chapter like 15 through 20, which is where I'm at now, I'm on chapter 19, there's so much talk about these like people and their genealogy and like how this person is connected to this person and this person wronged this person and this person helped get the stone. And I'm just like, it's a little bit of a mind boggle for me, but I am, you know, speeding through it. I'm on page 250. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get to like the 75%, 80% mark before our next update. But it's just going fine. Just going fine. It's just, you know, just going fine. That's all I really have to say about it. But I am glad that I picked this up. I mean, I'm not having a horrible time or anything. I probably wouldn't have picked it up on my own. So that's always a plus. I always count that as a plus. So gonna get a little bit further before we update you next in The Queen's Rising. I do have to look up if this is the same Rebecca Ross, because I'm very interested in that, because that would mean I read a backlist before I read like one of her popular books. So pretty interesting. Ooh, I don't know who SLJ is, but they compared this to Sarah J Maas's Throne of Glass series. I haven't read Throne of Glass, but I feel like that might be pushing it a little bit. All right, enough talk about this. I just need to keep reading and finish this one before the end of January, because we're quickly... Oh, today is the last day of January. Today's the 31st. That means I better, like, get a move on. Like, now. Are we at the strangest angle on the planet? Yes. Let me mute this before I get copywritten. I'm almost done with The Queen's Rising. I have probably, let's see, about maybe 30 pages left, maybe even less than that. And I have to be honest, because honesty is important, that I'm like skim reading at this point. I'm just not too intrigued with what's going on. There's too many people. There's too much like deception and, you know, all this. I'm just not interested. That's the bottom line, is I'm just not interested in the story and where Brianna's going. Like, she's found her father, and now she has to decide between, like, her blood father or the guy who, like, took her as his passion daughter or whatever, which, again, totally weird. But I'm just, like, not vibing. I'm not vibing. I feel like maybe I would have enjoyed it more if I was able to understand everything that was going on, and I took, like, the time to understand everything that was going on with, like, the different houses and the different people. But essentially, I just don't care that much. I just don't care that much. I'm gonna finish it, but it's not, like, gonna be a high rating for me, that's for sure. And that makes me very disappointed in the first blind date book. But, you know, it's another book read, another book off my shelf. So we're gonna finish this today. Mark my freaking words. Mark them down, write them down, write them in the sky, send a smoke signal. I don't care. I'm gonna finish this book today. So I have a little bit of time before I need to get going. So I'm gonna try and pump out as many pages as I can. And yeah, just try and get as much done as I can here in the next few minutes. So let's see what we can do. I'm on page 388 now. Let's see what about 10 minutes of reading can do for me. Howdy, hi, hey. Before I tell you my final thoughts, because I did finish today, whatever it's called, The Queen's Rising. Oh my gosh, I didn't even grab it. Let me go grab the book. That shows you how much I, you know, care about this book. Oh, also don't mind that I don't have an eyelash on. I'm currently, like, waiting for the glue to dry, so we're gonna pop that on as soon as we can. But before we talk about my final thoughts, I need to do a little pick-me-up. So I'm going to show you the book, a little mini book haul. We got a few books in the mail, including my book of the month, which I can't exactly remember what I got. I know I got the romance pick for this month, February, because, spoiler alert, I did not finish this book by the end of January. So today is like February something or other. It's still a few days into February, but I didn't finish by the time I wanted to because I was dragging my heels for that last little bit. Anyway, the book that I got is Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And this, I think, is like a romance story where our main character falls pregnant, I believe. It says, love shows up when you least expect it. A surprise pregnancy leads to even more life-changing revelations in this heartfelt, slow burn, friends to lovers romance. Look at the covers. It's not like spring. Like, I would buy this as a print. This is so cute. This was the only one I was really interested in this month, so I picked that one up, hoping to get to it soon. I am a little behind on my book of the month books, but we'll catch up eventually. The bookmark says, was it something I read? That's so cute. So those are the first little goodies that we have. I then have an Amazon, which I don't know what it is, but we'll find out together. I have two Amazons, actually. And this one is Thrall. This is one that I just randomly kind of added to my wish list, and one of my friends from Instagram did pick it out for me. It says, When You Live on Your Knees, Rise Up by K.A. Riley. This is based on the fairy tale Cinderella, the first in a new dystopian romance series. Okay, I love dystopian romance. It's like my, what is it called? Romantasy. Dystopian romance is that for me. So this is from my friend Aliana. She said, I hope you enjoyed this book. I really like this author. I was considering adding this to my TBR after you read. Can you please let me know if it's good? Thank you, Eliana. So sweet of you. I will definitely let you know what I think of that one when I read it, which I want to read that soon. But I say that about every single book that comes into my life. Let me pop my eyelash on real quick. Make sure she's secure because she was not secure before. I have another Amazon. Let's open this one. Oh, I do have a shirt on, by the way. I know I was holding my robe closed, but I do have a shirt on. No need to worry about that. This one is from my friend Lisa. Her Instagram username is Lisa Reads on Instagram. Oh my gosh, they like tucked this book in. Like, they should not have put it in this way. See what I mean? It's like super tight. They should have put it in the other way. I don't want to mess it up. Let me just cut it. Let me just cut it. Save myself some trouble here. Oh, I'm so excited. I just saw what this one is. And this one is Kagan the Damned. I've heard Jordaline from Jordaline Reads talk about this one so much. And I've been wanting to read it. It's by Jonathan Maberry. That's how Jordaline always says it. Jonathan Maberry. So this is about this man who I think he is like part of this kingdom or whatever. And then he does something and they like cancel him. They're like, you're canceled. And then he comes back and he wants to show them that he's better than ever, baby. So I'm super excited to get into this one as well. Now let's do the update about this because I did not like this book. I did not like this book very much at all. I didn't have a good time towards the end. I was enjoying myself towards the beginning, as you saw. You know, I was having high hopes for it, but alas, oh, let me put this in my book real quick. The one that Lisa got me. It was just too much going on, y'all. It was too much with the different, like I said, bloodlines and the people, how they were connected and how this family and like people went by a bunch of different names in order to be like undercover. So it was hard to figure out like who was who and how they were connected. And it was just too much for me. And I told you towards the end, I was skim reading. That definitely like did not stop as I continued to finish the book. I was just over it. I wasn't into the love interest, Brianna and Cartier. I was just like, whatever. There's too much going on with like there was just too much going on between having to choose between her real father and her passion father, which don't even get me started on that passion father thing. And then having to get the stone. And then I think like maybe she was the prince. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do know is that this is Rebecca Ross who wrote Divine Rivals. So when did this one come out? That's what I want to know. And I should have known from like all the family trees and stuff in the beginning that this was going to be a little bit of a lot for my little brain. It came out in 2018. Dang, that was 6 years ago. So I've heard great things about Divine Rivals, so I'm not going to hold this one over Rebecca Ross's head. And a lot of people did like this. I think it's like rated 3.8 or something like that. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I'm honestly debating, should I even rate it because I skim read it? If I was going to rate it, I would give it 2 stars. So hopefully our next time we do Blind Date with a book, it's a little better. Now I'm nervous, but alas, like I said earlier, I'm always happy to get a book off my shelf, regardless of if it's a blind date book, if it's a book I'm listening to audio-wise, if I'm physically reading, if it's on my Kindle. I'm always happy to get it off my shelf. So that is another one down, another one bites the dust, even if I didn't have the greatest time with it. So I would not recommend that one. I will not be continuing with the series. If you are someone who is very into fantasies and deception and, well, I should say young adult fantasies and deception and able to follow all the different like family names and all that, then maybe try it out. But if you're like me and that stuff easily like skips right past your brain, I would not recommend. So that's going to be the end of our video. We did end on I'm going to say it was a good note because we did our first blind date with a book. Now in February, we'll see what that has to bring when that video comes out. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to continue watching my videos, then please subscribe. And I'll see you in a new video soon, guys. Bye!